Hello. Wow, all right. I guess I can't really view this as a student, but you would come in. Welcome to Module 2. Hi. All right. I think it's always helpful to start in the modules so that you can just get a sense of what you need to do. And this welcome always gives you the overview, like you're reading chapter 2 and 3. You have to post your initial post by Thursday. Make sure that you're including anything from the book and just put Cosby and Bates 2020 at the ends of those sentences. That's important. I think I've said this before, so I'll try not to repeat myself too much, but that's important because in psychology, remember that you can always, there's so many different perspectives. Like, somebody could come from an evological perspective, somebody could come from a social learning perspective, someone could come from a developmental or a psychoanalytic or a humanistic, and it doesn't mean that you're wrong. That's why we have to cite, just so that we're all on the same page. Like, we don't all have to agree, but we do have to include information that supports what we're saying. So don't forget to include something from the book that supports what you're saying. Follow up with anybody. It can be myself too by Sunday. And then your 2 assignments are due by Sunday. So the first assignment is just finding 4 more peer-reviewed articles, and I already made a video showing you how to do that. So you just have 4 more. I do want to point out that your literature review is coming up. So you kind of want to be thinking about that. So by next week, you're turning in your literature review. So you're finding articles. This is actually not correct, but you're finding articles. Why is it 8? And you're writing a draft of your literature review. And then if we look at the rubric, you're using APA style. Remember, I have the template there for you. Like, this is a template that you can be using. I highly recommend just deleting the words that are on there and making it your own. That will help you to get the points for using APA style. You're using all of your articles. And then the themes. So you found 3 themes. And it doesn't matter what these are. It might be that, maybe some of your articles were about children and some of them were about elderly people and some were about adolescents, or maybe some were talking about something that's biological, and some of them are talking about how your topic relates to social interactions, and some are talking about how it relates to cognitive interactions, or whatever it might be. I don't know what these 3 themes are without reading your articles. So it's just 3 things that you noticed across your articles. And then just give me the bare bones outline of your current study. It's totally underdeveloped because we haven't really talked about this yet. So just give me sort of an idea of what you're thinking that you could do if you wanted to research more on this topic. So that is where we're headed. And I'm just saying that right now in Module 2, you're just finding your other 4 articles. And then you have to do your human subject certification. So that is all of these 5 modules. Oh, it's not letting me, wait there, okay. So here, this lesson 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And make sure that when you have completed these, that you save that certificate. That you're going to need that later in your other psych lab classes. So make sure that you save it somewhere. Otherwise, you're going to have to do it again. And this does take a minute. You know what I mean? It's 5 different modules. So do plan. That could take 45 minutes. It's not rocket science. And you can re-answer the questions. It's just that it just takes a minute, And then I'm trying to be really specific in these discussions. I'm trying to tell you exactly where to find this information. it talks about the 5 sources of ideas on these pages. So which source was the origin of your question and your hypothesis. So state a research question that you could ask about the topic you've identified. So say that you're interested in, like, I don't know, how eyewitness testimony, let's say. Then you might say, how does race impact eyewitness testimony? And you might say that if people are of the same race, they will remember more details about each other, or something like that. So then say which source of idea this idea came from. There's 5 principles of ethics on these pages, so say which one might be the most relevant. There's risks discussed on those pages, so say which risk you think would be the most important. And keep in mind that these really are opinions. It's just, this is my way of testing, did you actually read this? You know what I mean? And then, of course, you're going to include examples from the book. Like, so first say, of these 5 principles of ethics, Cosby and Bates 2020, this is the one that was most relevant. And then, of these risks, blah, blah, blah. And then cite Cosby and Bates because they're the ones who are saying the risks. And then say, this is the one that's most relevant. All right. And that's kind of like it. But let me know if you have any questions.